Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. We're here today with Kareem Halal at ProTenders. We're here on hack number 3. In case you don't know enough about Kareem or what he does, you can click below to get more information. On the first couple of hacks, we've done the first one, which was essentially, the first hack was creating or showing the value of creation of transactions that are taking place on the platform and making them visible and segmenting them so people understand what is happening and making that more visible. The second growth hack was a siphoning, data siphoning and enrichment hack. And now we're looking on hack number 3. Before we get started, Kareem, are there any results on hack 1 or 2 that you'd like to share with us before we jump into hack number 3?
Sure. So last time we spoke, we had a nice increase in number of leads from hack number 1, and happy to report it's actually been increasing even more. So we have more of a jump in number of leads. So when last time we spoke about, we had about 20% increase in number of leads coming in because of the different things. We've tweaked a bit more the messaging. We've tried a few more variations. We're now around the 50% more leads coming in just because of that.
Wow.
So that's a very big jump.
Yeah, small, like small action, mass impact. That's exactly what we want. Low friction entry point, high value output. Awesome. Okay, good to hear. And what about hack number 2?
So hack number 2 was about collecting data on the, so basically tapping into databases to try and grow our database. We are doing it. We have found a good way of doing it. We've been siphoning data from a bunch of different platforms. We're still at the stage where we have to find a way to properly, so the biggest problem that we're facing right now is the quality of data. So effectively, because you're siphoning information in, the question becomes, how do you guarantee the data you're getting is actually correct? Yeah. So we're working on this particular side of the business now, which is, well, let's find a way to really, I would rather have a bit less data that's a bit more trusted compared to a lot of data which is basically junk. So we have, what we're doing is we're working on 2 different databases to try and correlate both. And if something is in both databases, then it makes sense, then we're putting it. So we're still ironing out this particular process, but it's looking very promising to, just solve the data quantity and the quality issues.
Awesome. Yeah, quality is always a problem. Garbage in, garbage out, right? That's how data works. So.
Exactly. and the thing is, once you let garbage in, it becomes impossible to clean it up afterwards. So we don't want to get into the issue where you have too much junk to clean up afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know with some of my clients, when we've done siphoning, like we use as many, obviously, I mean, you're probably already doing that. We use as many, we're calling like pinging sources, so sources that double verify. But the issue with that is that if someone has had the information wrong from the beginning and it's wrong everywhere, then it becomes a problem. So what we did in the past is when we siphon, we bring the data in and then we outreach to the individual organization or person, we would give them the opportunity to actually correct their information as one of the very first actions. Because if the information is incorrect, then, I mean, nobody else gave them a chance and that puts you in a better light. If the information is accurate and you still gave them an opportunity, you're still in a good light, but you've done, the final verification step that you can do, which is from the source themselves. So yeah, I'm sure you guys are probably already looking to a lot of that. You guys are working with data day in and day out. So I know the problem very well.
But that's a very good tip, actually. We'll look to implement that.
As
an automated way.
Yeah, automated. Yeah, let them fix the quality in an automated way. Awesome, man. So hack number 3, man. Tell us what's hack number 3. What has happened? What are the results? What's going on?
Sure. So hack number 3 is about how can we engage governments. And so effectively what's happening is there's a push around the world to have more foreign investments coming to the country through FDIs, foreign direct investments. And of course, construction being one of the biggest industries in a particular country, there's a big focus on that. So how can our data, how can our platform really help FDI generate more investments from foreign companies, from foreign countries? And so we've reached out to a few of the local and actually one global government to try and see what can they do with data. How can we help them in their mission to actually really push that locality as being a center of excellence for data quality? Because effectively, the more transparent your industry is, the more you're going to bring trust from foreign investors, the more they would be willing to invest. So it's actually 2 sides of the equation. One is you want to know what's happening in the country in relationship to everything else, and you want to make sure the data you're getting is actually correct. So transparency and making sure there's enough data is quite important. And because we have so much data about the construction industry right now in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, we know a lot of it, and so that can help them generate more interest from foreign investors. So we've pitched that to a few governments, and we've received interesting positive first feedback from a few of them.
Perfect.
So definitely we're going to be pushing quite a bit more. And the advantage is once you also have that, you have more interest than to actually be able to get data from governments, right? If they see us a way for them to get more FDI, then they might be willing to share more information with you. Yep. to push that message. So it also solves, in a sense, hack number 2, which is the data quality, right? If you get direct source data from government, then you don't need to do your own research anymore. Exactly. So that's kind of what we're looking at and why this is so important to look at.
Yep. I think the other thing too, as you put these proposals out and you build the systems for economic development and FDI development agencies, there are 2 really important things. One is policy impact, and second is outreach capability. So they have promotion teams that have the largest portions of the budgets. They go all around the world. They host investors and companies attracting investment. And what they're doing is they always like to have a fresh list of investments that they can market all the time. And so what you want to be able to do is take that data and always have a fresh list for them. It could be a monthly top 10 list just for these guys so that they're aware of what's coming in or what they can market, because they've got their own marketing engines and investors who are interested to enter the industry or who are in the industry but want to access the market. The second side is on a policy side. So if there's a constraint in the construction industry, or let's say there isn't a constraint inside the industry, but people entering the industry which is FDI, the FDI agency has a direct mandate to work with policymakers across the whole government in most countries to lower the barrier and also put incentives in place. If you play the game of being able to create inputs into policy and incentive development, your service will become extremely valuable, more valuable than you might even imagine, because you make their job much easier. There are other companies that play this space, but they play it as just kind of pure investment projects, not dedicated to the construction industry. And construction industry, as you pointed, the advantage is the transactions are big. So the FDI that comes in there is big time. So you'll have the ears of the right people, of course, marketing those few other aspects that might help out. Awesome. I think this one is going to do well for you. I love how the 3 growth hacks connect. They all come together. I love how the fact that you guys are just being really careful about how all the data connects. I know how sensitive data can be, but today's, data, and I say in today's world, data is like oxygen, right? You can't survive without it. And the better quality that oxygen is, the more healthier you're going to be as an organization. And so that's where we are today. Okay, guys, that's awesome. Anything else you want to share with us on hack number 3, or is that it?
Well, I'm actually quite sad. Only three hacks, to be frank with you, but no, that's about it for hack number 3.
Yep. I mean, all these hacks extend. I mean, a lot of the contenders, by the time they like, I had one contender, she finished the whole book, which is the 20 hacks prior to the challenge itself. She's like, every hack led to another hack, and then they just built this whole chain of ideas for her, and they're all put into growth hacks. So yeah, don't stop here, but we'll catch up in the next video as we look at kind of the reflection on this, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that, what the next steps that might be. So I'll check you out. I'll check you out at the end of this challenge. See you, Kareem.